Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about the Pioneer tire from Float Life. It's gonna be awesome. Plenty of snow outside. Trapper Hat says we live in the north, and we're going to debut the tire on this YouTube channel. Let's get it started. If you just got a Onewheel, you need to do this with your friends.
Look at my friend helping me.
Anytime on this YouTube channel that we put this apron on, it says we're about to do some work. And the work is we're gonna do a tire change today. We've got the brand new tire from Float Life. We're fans of tires from that brand. Float Life has created some of the most epic tires in the one wheel space. The Enduro tire, awesome. Go back before that, their Burst collabs, awesome. Okay, their pint tires that they made back in the day, amazing. They just have a style to the way they make their tires that I appreciate. It is a blend of tackiness to pavement, but carvability in trails. Those are my words in my explanation today. It's the Pioneer tire. First impressions, hands down, most beefiest tire for the GT and GTS. They've built it with the trail beasts in mind, especially those in snowy conditions. This seems to be, just on appearances, the most gnarliest tread available up to date of this video that's gonna allow us to mob the Northern Gauntlet trails here in the tundra of Minnesota. The size of the width of the tire, which is boasting, is 6.9 inches wide, which is gonna give you a more bite on the trails and in snowy conditions. We've mobbed some miles in the snow here in the tundra. We love it. We don't shelf our one wheel. We don't winterize our one wheel outside of making sure it can mob into snow. We groom our trails so we might be able to send it into snow. And this is all about us finding out if we get more bite on the tire than with other tires. This is deep. The cut, the grooves are very deep in this. It not only is just on the top portion of your tire, it also curves to the sides of the tire where you can bite in the carve. You're gonna be able to ride the trails like you and I dream of in snowy conditions. I think this is also for those that mob trails in conditions that are similar to the snowy conditions, not slippery or wet, but the compound of the dirt calls for a more treaded tire. So you need that extra just grippiness. I think the Pioneer tire is gonna come in clutch. We love soft compound here. You can order in soft or a heavier duty, I believe they're calling it medium compound. It is wider than your standard 6.5 tire. Now let's talk about the sidewalls, because I like the sidewalls to be a little bit soft. I don't like a hard compound there, because then when you're going to carve, you need those it's buttery smooth switchbacks, and you need it to bite hard. I don't want this hard, and it's got a little bit of give, which is great in my opinion, the way I ride and enjoy the trails. Anytime I've had a hard sidewall that you can't push down, it really makes it feel like you're falling into the switchbacks and the berms versus just buttery smooth like you're on snow. So soft compound equals a smooth transition in carving. And we all want smooth transitions. If you're coming from a snowboard background, that's one of the things you love about fresh powder, is the smooth transitions into the carve. It doesn't feel like you're falling into it. This is the first tire cosmetically they have etched in, if you will. It's like melting snow and ice on the side wall of it. It's just, I mean, if you're gonna make a customizable tire, let's go for it, right? Let's make it a very unique tire even to look at. So we want to get right to the mobbing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this right on here. We're gonna get outside and mob in our snow here in the Minnesota. Always make sure your pup that loves to ride one wheels and run with you is out for the ride. PSI is 6.5. Pro tip when installing this tire: Windex goes a long way. Spray the rim, spray the tire, pop, goes right on, no problem. First impressions, surprised. Overwhelmingly surprised. Let me just tell you that right away. Only a few seconds of mobbing. My son, Epic, has the Enduro tire, which does okay in snow, but he's gonna demonstrate the massive difference in the two. You better be talented at outrunning when the tire just has no more grip anymore, it just spins. Whereas this monster right here grips. That just mobbed up the hill, no problem. Overall first impressions, blown away. Blown away indeed, folks. The bite of this tire in very slippery conditions here in Minnesota was impressive. Again, to date of this video, I've not come across a more treaded tire for the GT or GTS yet. This one has been awesome. We have a goal of riding our Onewheels every day in this year of 2024. And in Minnesota, that means part of that's in winter in very cold temperatures, icy and snowy conditions. So for 23 days, we've rode in these kind of conditions, and this tire was the best. We've tried all kinds of different setups, from a 5-inch hub with a Vega tire to the GT. Did you just see that spin out, the little slip, and it gripped? I thought I was going down. That's some of the concerns when you ride any trails in snowy condition, is the backside, toe side fall. And it bit. Oh man, that was right there, sold me on the tire. Wow. As we've been trying different tires, we've learned a lot on what makes a good tire for snowy conditions, and it's really come down to a softer compound is really nice in snow and ice conditions. The sidewalls on this are as soft as I would hope, so it really compresses when you hit these berms that are full with snow. I don't normally go as fast in the trails this time of year just because of the conditions. You can see right there, again, my son Epic just proving the difference in tires. I don't have any slip outs like he was doing. He eventually gets tired of that and goes in. He's like, I'm over this. Whereas this, I didn't have to run I didn't have to run out as the tire slipped or anything. Even when I was slipping a second ago and I felt like I was going to slip the backside, I just adjusted minorly and it just picked up traction again, and I was riding. Typically, it would have been either a fall to the backside or I would have really slowed down. So, I mean, first impressions, this is the first ride in a trail system that I ride every day. This tire is more than I expected, to be honest with you, in the tundra of Minnesota. It's mobbing, it's handling all these conditions. And today, it's, like I said, it's warmer, so this snow is a little bit more slushy than it is packed down, groomed. Conditions matter when you're riding uphill and downhill. If you get too much ungroomed snow, we found that around 4 inches of snow is about the maximum depth you can get into snow with a one wheel. You're gonna ask about what go-to shoes should you be using in trails. These shoes right here. These are the MTE1s from Vans.com. MTE1s are the way to go because the sole is little yet grippy, super nice. There's a couple tips for you while riding in snow or cold weather. Shoes matter, guys, when you're riding. So do your foot pads. If you don't have a brush to brush off the snow and ice that will continue to gather there, you're going to have a rough experience. You'll be walking home because you can't get the sensor to activate, or your back foot continues to slip off because the buildup of the snow and the ice. So shoes and a steel brush go a long way in snowy conditions. I know what you're asking. What else does this do when you're out on the street? The pavement. I'm glad you asked. We have some pavement right over there. We're gonna give it a full send, see what it's like. Now, I hope you understand this tire is not being sold as a tire for street riding. It's a treaded tire. They're meant for off-road. But I understand that sometimes you find yourself on the street and conditions are not ideal inside trails. So how does it ride? It rides great. You'd need to pump up the tire, again, 6.5 PSI. It would be really nice to pump that up a little bit harder when you're on the street. I'm going to play around with the PSI for the ride conditions inside the trails. I'm going to try it at 10 and see if I like that. I like to start low on my tires in snowy conditions and then pump up versus start high and try to let magical air pressure out in the journey of the trail riding, because then I don't know how much I actually have left in there. So those are some of our pro tips. This is a must-have if you're gonna ride in any sloppy conditions. This is, please go buy this. I make no royalty. I'm just telling you, this is hands down the best winter tire I have ever rode. All right, this thing mobs like nobody's business. Loved it. The trails were perfect today. It's warmest day in 2 weeks here in Minnesota. Get yourself the Pioneer from floatlife.com. You're gonna love it. I have high expectations in dirt surfers trails down in Arkansas, things of that nature. I think this thing's gonna be a full send mob. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We always have content dropping, fresh content on reviews on tires and other products people are making from brands all over the globe. Thanks for watching this today. Leave a comment down below what you think the best tire in snow is, and if you like it, give us a thumbs up. It really does, I think, at least people are telling me, it helps the algorithm. It's just saying.